April 18th, 1945, 22:10 hours. A village road outside Nuremberg, Germany. The firing has stopped, but the night is not quiet. Smoke still hangs low, drifting through shattered roofs and broken windows. A burned-out Opel truck smolders in a ditch, its engine ticking as it cools, metal snapping softly like something breathing in its sleep. American boots crunch over glass and brick. Somewhere a dog barks once, then goes silent. Victory is supposed to feel loud. Instead, it feels tense. A platoon from the U.S. 45th Infantry Division moves cautiously down the street, M1 Garand slung low, fingers resting near triggers out of habit more than need. White flags hang from door frames, bedsheets knotted hastily, fluttering in the cold spring air. The Reich is collapsing by the hour. Everyone knows it. The war, this war, is already decided. And that's the problem. A lieutenant pauses at an intersection, glancing back at his men. Their faces are smeared with soot and exhaustion, eyes hollow from weeks of pursuit. They've crossed rivers under fire, taken towns that surrendered before the first shot, stepped around bodies that no one had time to count. Orders still exist, discipline still exists, but something else has arrived first. A sense that there will be no consequences anymore. Inside a nearby house, a candle burns on a table beneath a cracked portrait of Hitler, the glass shattered by concussion. The flame trembles as American voices approach. A door creaks open. Hands rise in the dark. German words spill out, fast, desperate, overlapping. The soldiers hesitate. This is not a firefight. There is no enemy formation, no return fire to justify what comes next, just fear, confusion, and the weight of everything they've seen since crossing the Rhine. One man shifts his grip on his rifle. Another looks away. Because when the war is already won, restraint becomes a choice, and not everyone makes it.
The lieutenant raises a hand. Hesitation, not command. Inside the house, a German family stands frozen beneath a low ceiling blackened by smoke. An older man in a worn civilian coat. A woman clutching a child so tightly the boy can't cry even if he wants to. No uniforms, no weapons, just the unmistakable look of people who understand exactly how thin the line is now. Outside, the street tells a different story. A GI from another unit walks past, dragging a crate of captured liquor bottles, laughing too loudly. Further down the road, a window shatters. No shot, just a boot. Someone who needed something to give way. The war did this. Weeks earlier, restraint was enforced by danger. A German machine gun around the next corner, a sniper in the church tower. Fear kept discipline intact. But now the enemy is beaten, scattered, begging to surrender, and anger has nowhere left to go. The lieutenant steps inside. The room smells of damp plaster and old smoke. He scans faces, hands, corners. Nothing, no threat. His training tells him what to do next. Secure the civilians, move on, report the position as cleared. Behind him, a soldier mutters something under his breath. Dachau, Ohrdruf, the death trains. Everyone has heard the stories by now. Some have seen them. The images don't fade when the shooting stops. A corporal tightens his jaw, eyes locked on the older man. Was he party? Wehrmacht? Did it even matter anymore? The uniform is gone. The past isn't. The child finally whimpers. That sound breaks something. Enough! The lieutenant snaps, sharper than he intended. His voice fills the room, reasserting something fragile, authority. But even as he speaks, he knows the truth. Orders are clear. Emotions are not. And across Germany, in hundreds of towns just like this one, American soldiers are being tested in ways no firing range, no drill field, no rule book ever prepared them for.
Some will choose restraint, others will choose release, and the war will leave marks that victory cannot erase.
April 12, 1945, late afternoon, near a newly liberated camp outside Weimar. The gate hangs open, twisted, useless now. Inside, the smell hits first, sweet, rotten, impossible to forget. American soldiers move slowly, rifles lowered, boots crunching on gravel that feels too quiet for what this place has done. Barracks stretch ahead like empty ribs, wooden bunks stacked 3 high, no blankets, no warmth. Just numbers carved into wood by men who ran out of hope before they ran out of time. A medic kneels beside a survivor wrapped in a blanket far too thin. The man's eyes are open but unfocused, as if he's still somewhere else, somewhere darker. This isn't a battlefield. There's no return fire, no enemy position to mark on a map. But there are bodies, piled, scattered, left where they fell. Someone vomits behind the barracks. Another soldier stands perfectly still, fists clenched so hard his hands shake. These men have fought from Normandy to the Rhine. They have seen friends die. They thought they understood war. They didn't understand this. Word spreads fast, faster than orders. SS guards, those not already dead or fled, are dragged from hiding places, hands raised, faces pale now that the uniforms mean nothing. One tries to speak, to explain, to say he was only following orders. A rifle cracks, then another. Officers shout. Some try to stop it. Others don't move at all. Because what command fits this moment? What regulation answers what lies in front of them? This is the edge of discipline. Justice without trial, revenge without ceremony. Men deciding in seconds what years of courts might never resolve. Later, reports will soften the language. Security incident, breakdown in control. The paperwork will move on. But the soldiers will not. Because after this, after seeing what victory uncovered, something fundamental changes. The war is no longer about defeating Germany. It's about surviving what was discovered there. And back in the towns, in the houses, in the quiet rooms where civilians wait in silence, the line between restraint and retribution grows thinner by the day.
April 18, 1945. A small Bavarian town surrendered without a shot. White flags hang from windows like apologies. Church bells don't ring. They never do anymore. American infantry enters cautiously, helmets low, weapons ready out of habit more than necessity. The war, here, is already over. Civilians stand in doorways, hands visible, eyes down. Inside the houses, the war is different. Family portraits still hang straight. Tables are set for meals that never came. Drawers hold ration cards, letters from sons at the front, party pins tucked hastily out of sight. No smoke, no fire, no resistance. And yet, the tension is heavier than combat, because now the rules are unclear. An American lieutenant reads out orders in clipped tones, curfews, weapons surrendered, cooperation mandatory. His voice echoes off stone walls. No one argues, no one asks questions. But later, after dark, the discipline frays. A group of soldiers sits in a requisitioned tavern, helmets on the table, boots still on. Someone pours a drink, then another. Laughter breaks out, sharp, sudden, almost inappropriate. It doesn't last. Outside, a door is kicked open. A man is dragged into the street, accused of being SS or Gestapo or simply accused by someone who points and doesn't explain. His wife cries out. A child clings to her skirt. An officer arrives too late. The man is shoved against a wall. Questions are asked. Answers don't satisfy. A blow lands, then another. Not fatal, not yet, but deliberate. This is not policy. This is pressure finding a release. Most soldiers walk away. Some watch. A few intervene. None forget. In the official histories, these towns will be listed as liberated. The dates will be neat. The arrows will stop moving. But in the hours after victory, something corrosive sets in. Because when the enemy no longer shoots back, every action feels heavier, every decision personal. And the men who carried the war to Germany now have to carry something else entirely. The knowledge that winning did not make them clean. April 30th, 1945. Night falls across a defeated country. Somewhere east of Munich, American trucks rode past burned-out columns and abandoned helmets, their headlights dimmed out of habit. The radio crackles with fragments of news. Berlin surrounded, Hitler dead, the end imminent. The words feel unreal, too small for what this war has become. In foxholes that were never meant to be dug, soldiers sit awake, writing letters they won't send. They don't describe victory. They don't describe relief. They circle around something harder to name. Because the war did not end cleanly. Not in these last weeks. Not after the camps. Not after the surrenders. Not after the silence. Some men crossed lines they never imagined crossing. Others watched it happen and said nothing. Many followed orders perfectly and still feel stained by what they saw. There are no medals for restraint, no citations for choosing not to pull a trigger when you could. History will remember the parades, the photographs, the flags raised over rubble. It will remember Patton's speed, Eisenhower's resolve, the triumph of an army that crossed an ocean and broke a Reich. But it will not remember the nights like this, when victory arrived before healing, when justice felt incomplete, when young men learned that winning a war does not end its wait. Years later, some of them will sit in quiet rooms long after the uniforms are gone and realize the truth they never said aloud in 1945. The war didn't end when Germany fell. It ended slowly, unevenly, inside the men who carried it home. And some parts of it never ended at all.